which in turn made me hate Panda for the rest of that year. When I asked her about it down the road, she said she had nothing to do with it, that it was actually just Red, which is the nickname I'm going to leave for her because she was a redhead. My ex was plotting to make sure that she and I, my Panda and I, never got together. Yeah, psycho ex-girlfriends or psycho. So I pretty much ignored Panda that year because of that whole situation, because I didn't know any better. And that's when I got involved with the next girl for a few months, it was a few months, basketball games and yada yada. And got to go to Sadie's with her. And then of course Red sunk her claws into her. She embarrassed me big time at the Sadie's, and that was that. I'm not going to go into detail. That's a pretty rough story and time period of my time. And that summer, I started hanging out with Panda and her friends again, and almost every weekend we went bowling, every Friday, just about. We went bowling that summer. It was a lot of fun. I remember having a lot of fun with them. And then senior year rolled around, and I was in no way planning on asking anybody to homecoming or prom. I was just going to go stag because I wasn't going to set myself up for the trash that I set myself up for the years before. So I just said, forget it, I'm just going to go by myself. Until one day at lunch I heard Red trying to hook up Panda with some guys that she wanted nothing to do with. And it made me feel really bad that that was going to happen to her. So that night I went home and tried it one more time and asked her to go with me to homecoming. And if she said no, I'd be like, then that's it, I'm done with it, I'm not going to try anymore. If she said yes, life is good. And she said yes. And homecoming was great that year. But the rest of the senior year was not so great, because Red did everything in her power to make Panda's life a living hell. And to this day, I've forgiven her for what she did to her, for what she did to Panda, and what she continues to do to Panda. I've forgiven her. I've called it water under the bridge. I've moved on. But a part of me will never forget that. Like, that's one thing that rubbed me the wrong way. If you hurt somebody because of me, because of the way you feel about me, I can't stand it. It makes me furious. Like, if you have a problem with me, deal with me. Don't make somebody else suffer because of it. That's just how I've always been. So we graduated, got away from all the drama, dated for a couple of years, I proposed to her, long story short, boom, we got married. And that's our story. Like I said, that was the longest part of the video because there was a lot of details to it. And I have no problem sharing this with you guys because you're my buds. I know the videos are probably running long now. It's definitely going to be a multiple-parter. Question number 12, running down to the last few. Where is the Raven from? My name. I was big into Edgar Allan Poe when I was in high school, and Nevermore was one of my favorite poems, with the Raven chanting Nevermore. The Raven, the bird, has always been my favorite bird. I don't know why. I always enjoyed the Raven as my favorite type of bird ever. It's straight black, and I love black. That's my favorite color, other than green. And but the way I spelt it, R-A-Y-B-I-N, Ray is actually my middle name. It's also the name of my grandfather and my uncle, and my mom named me that because of that. And I just was cute one day and took Raven the bird and put my name in it, and there you go. And of course I already explained the T-E-H, the word the was already taken, so I just did internet spec with it, and THE so that's where the Raven name came from. So I was going to use my other name, but I was like, it's time to move on. I left my pen name for my art and changed this to my YouTube name. So, number 13, how did I meet Zero? Zero, for those of y'all who don't know, is a buddy of mine. He is literally my best friend outside of Panda. He's my favorite. He's my best male friend. Let's put it that way. I actually met him when he was in 8th grade, and I was working in the junior high department at that time with the pastor in there. I met him when he was in there, and we went to camp. The Camp Carnage video that I put on here is where he and I actually became really good buddies. We went to the camp, and we just made a connection, and he and I have been each other's shadow ever since. Like, it's scary how much he and I resemble each other in our antics and the way we talk. Except he's a little bit dirtier, as you've seen in some of the videos. Oh, that guy. Number 14, what keeps you going in life? What keeps me going in life is you guys, along with the kids over at Children's Church. And I'll explain that. The children, like I said earlier, for the kids, I enjoy being able to be that person they can idolize and try to be like, and if I'm the only God that ever shows them any love, I'm happy with that. That's how I look at it. If I don't know what their standpoint is at home, I don't know how their home life is, but if the 2 hours that I get them on a weekend, I can show them just a little bit of love, and that's all they get to hold them over for the entire week, I have no problem with that. And I love every second of it. And also, you guys keep me going, because like I said, I love to entertain you guys. I love to be that thing that you guys go check every day in YouTube land to see if I post anything, even though it's been a couple of, I finally posted one yesterday and these today. But yeah, I absolutely it keeps me going. It gives me a drive. The kids give me a drive, you guys give me a drive, and recently now Panda's giving me a huge drive because I want to make sure she's happy. And that's another reason why I do this YouTube thing, to hopefully one day help that dream come true and make her happier and more secure, especially in a failing economy right now. You gotta be a man when you're married. You have to. It's not a good thing. And the final question: where can I add you on Facebook? I know that was a kind of an anticlimactic question, but he added it last. I will put a link down below to both my Facebook and my Twitter accounts. That way you guys can follow me on both, because I update them regularly. Facebook especially. I am a Facebook addict. I was never into the big whole social networking thing until Facebook came around, and still wasn't big into it until it copied off of Twitter. And but I still love Twitter as well, and I update and follow people like Raylene Johnson and Mystery Guitar Guy and everybody on Twitter. So add me on both. I will be posting on both regularly, and links are down below. I thank you guys. If you guys made it through the entire thing, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I really feel like Boogie right now, because I remember watching his first Q&A and how he went into his life description and everything, and like I'm following his footsteps. You hear that, Boogie? I'm following your footsteps, buddy. Now what? That's the end of this Q&A. If you have any other questions, guys, feel free to ask me. And the moment I get 10 or more again piled up into a compilation of questions, I will do another Q&A. But as for now, that's going to be it. If this is your first time watching my video, I'm sorry it wasn't crazy or antic-y or whatnot, because this is a Q&A and people want answers, so I gives them answers, and I did so. I hope I answered your questions very finely right there. So, I'm your boy Raven. I will see you later, and I'm latest.